The new year is coming up, and many folks like to create those New Year's resolutions. One popular pick among adults, dry January.
So dry January, as you probably know, is when you avoid alcohol for the entire month of January. That idea seems like a really good one, but now we are hearing from at least one doctor, Dr. Daryl Joffrey, on why we should maybe ditch the dry January. Good morning, Dr. Joffrey.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Good to see you guys.
Happy Friday. Merry Christmas. You know, it seems like that's the opposite of what a doctor should be telling us to do. Why would it be important to, for some people at least, to avoid participating in dry January?
Yeah, and I bet there's a lot of smiling faces out there after you said that one. But here's why. The cold turkey approach and deprivation, it just doesn't work. Now, albeit it's a noble approach, but here's the problem. The research shows that for everyone that makes a New Year's resolution, especially around ditching things like alcohol and sugar, by January 15th, they fail with their resolutions. How crazy is that? So we have to change our approach. We want to make this more about moderation, not deprivation, because ultimately, guys, this is about finding your balance. It has to be doable. It has to be realistic. So what we want to do, instead of having 2 or 3 drinks or maybe a bottle, let's have a drink. But most important, what we want to do is find the best version of alcohol so it's not as damaging to our body when we consume it.
Yeah, those are some really good suggestions. So when we talk about trying to find the best version of that alcohol, what are some drinks people should avoid altogether? I know you mentioned a few of those items.
Yeah, well, not all alcohol is created equal. In fact, all alcohol is acidic, and the acid is what's going to really damage the gut. It's irritating, can cause things like reflux and bloating, obviously the liver, and we don't feel great after we drink it. So the never, better, best approach is really what we want to take. Never is going to be beer. So sorry, beer drinkers, but the fermented grains are bad because they drive up inflammation and they're not good for your gut. A better option is going to be your red and white wines. Now, it's not totally optimal, but they have things like yeast and sugar. The best option is going to be your tequila, your gin, and my favorite, your grain-free vodkas like a Ciroc or a Chopin, because they have less acid, they have more of a pH around 4 or 6, less damaging to the body.
I think that's a really great point, and hopefully someone would have the willpower to just indulge in one of those drinks instead of going overboard with, you know, wine glasses. Wine glasses, they used to be made this big. Now you can buy wine glasses this big, and people fill them and really overdrink without even realizing that they are overdrinking. If you were wanting to go about mindful drinking and just drink less during the month of January, and you wanted to maybe combine those options with other non-alcoholic drinks, are there other good options that you would suggest somebody has as an alternative to alcohol?
Yeah, well, I think you want to really focus on, you know, what you're doing around the alcohol. So the clearer the alcohol, the harder the alcohol, the better it's going to be, because the darker ones tend to have more sugar. And ultimately, sugar is so acidic and inflammatory to your body. That's really why we feel bad the next day, the hangovers. But you also want to be mindful of like the mixers. You know, we all love the tropical drinks, but it's the syrups, it's the juices from concentrate. That's what really kind of affects us more inside of our body when we drink those things. And you've got to be mindful of the diet sodas. That's a big mixer, right? Diet sodas actually are loaded with an artificial sweetener called aspartame. In fact, a few months ago, they labeled it as a potential carcinogen. Plus, those are going to actually make you gain more weight than the real thing, contrary to what we might think. We also want to go grain-free, because grain-free equals gluten-free, better for our gut. And most important, guys, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I always say the solution to pollution is dilution. So drink a glass of water before you start to indulge. And if you're going to have more than one drink, the goal is to have a glass of water in between each drink.
All good tips. Hey, before we let you go, talk to us about your detox tea and the ingredients in it that's good for us.
Oh, I love the detox tea. It's the triple A effect, I say, because it's got antioxidants, it's anti-inflammatory, and it's alkalizing. So basically what we're going to do is take an inch piece of turmeric and an inch piece of ginger. You're going to dice it up nice and small. You're going to boil just some water, take the water off of the stove, then you're going to add that in there. Here's the key part. Add a pinch of black pepper, because the black pepper is going to increase the anti-inflammatory effects of that turmeric by 2,000%. Then what you can do is drink that hot. What I like to do is actually put it in the fridge in a glass container. The next morning, I'll drink it as a cold detox tea, and then I'll add a slice of lemon into that. Lemon, while it's acidic outside the body, it's highly alkalizing when you put it into the body, because it's high in minerals and low in sugar. And those minerals are so critical to neutralize any acid in your body, whether it's from sugar or alcohol.
I noticed that your detox tea, it doesn't contain like tea bags. It's containing spice. I mean, and spices are so good for anti-inflammatory benefits and things like that. So that looks like a really great option to me. I think it's going to be best if we put this up on clicktohouston.com for everybody to.
I just took a screen grab when it was up.
I know. We're like, don't go away. But yeah, definitely we want to be able to link people to that. Dr. Joffrey, anything you want to say before we let you go?
Well, I love that you said the inflammation. At the end of the day, we don't die of old age, we die of inflammation, especially around the holidays. We're indulging. So here's the deal. Have fun, indulge a little bit, but get back at it. That's the key thing. The more we course correct and get back on our game and we find our balance, we're going to be okay. So I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and make this next year all about kicking the acid in your life, strengthening your body with good food. But again, make it all about the balance.
Yeah, because in about a week from now, everybody's going to feel tired and sluggish, and we're going to need to remember this. So we got to get back at it.
What did Dr. Daryl say?
It doesn't be that way.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Thank you, Dr. Joffrey. That was very great. That was really great, especially heading into the new year. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, guys. Great to see you.
Happy holidays.